Welcome back, Momocon. How's everybody doing? Good to be here. Good to have you. As always, FCSmiley, joined by my co-host.
Bubbles.
Yeah, we're glad to be here. So, Bubbles, what do we got going on right now?
Another exciting semifinal round. Tons of competitors here. A very decorated cast. Lots of names you will recognize. Blaze, Snkz, Brandon, Ty, Siovo, Greg, Luckyo, JPGiviner, 02B, Arti, JPGX, and gdin. This is a very, very decorated cast. Luckyo recently this year won Catalyst 2025. JPGiviner the year before was the Catalyst winner. Snkz, 18-plus wins in Las Vegas' Speedway. JPGX also has many Speedway wins. Ty won Momocon in 2023 in the 2v2 category. He's in this room. And Blaze has had many, many top appearances in both categories of free-for-all and 2v2. But speaking of 2v2, this isn't 2v2. This is free-for-all. It's every man, woman, person for themselves. All these players are warmed up. We've played some 2v2. We've played some free-for-all today already. But this is a different beast. Free-for-all is a lawless land, every person for themselves. And this is a semifinal round. The climb only gets tougher from here. The path to the top only gets steeper.
And what's crazy to think about, so top 6 move on, right?
Correct.
You got to go against people like Cynic, Floex, Garchomp, Yezi, Nick, and Cinda.
Wow.
What a group that will be for a finals match. Oh, I'm excited.
Very exciting. But we got to get there first. An interesting note about this room is that Arti and gdin are both in this room, and they just became the champions of the 2v2 category, and now they're against each other. We were talking before about Batter Cookie and Snkz, who frequently went against each other at Speedway. Lots of LAN experience in the 1v1, but they had to be teammates today. This is kind of the opposite. They just went from the top of the mountain in the 2v2 world. Now they're both fighting for a qualification spot in the next round, in the final round. And here we go. We are about to get started.
We hear that noise. We know it's ready to go down. Let's hear some noise from the crowd, though, as we get these players ready to go. First race picked up. Let's see where they're going to go for the first one.
Race 1, super important. You cannot relax for a single second. We had just had the previous semifinal. The difference in point total from 5th place qualifying to 10th was 6 points.
That's not many. That's not many.
That's a difference of just one unfortunate green shell or boomerang or falling off the track. Every single second of this round matters, and we're about to see it begin.
And here we go. Water Park.
Water Park.
I have not seen this picked yet.
Yeah.
This is a typical like inside drift track that you would like to see.
The Yoshi bikes are strong here.
They really are. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. I do see that there is the Rosalina on the Yoshi bike here, so you want to say that they have a slight advantage with this one. But then again, when you look at this names, this room, nobody has a real advantage. Yeah,
the kart drifting style advantage doesn't play too much of a factor here. The beginning is going to be very important. The coins on the two sides here are very accessible to the top spots. Again, coins are very important for breaking away in the top spots. You want to stay safe. The coin from Blaze is immediately popped in an attempt to move up to the front, but a draft from Snkz takes away first place and that opportunity. And now the pace is set.
What you want to see right here is you want to try to get yourself like a mushroom or something that you can do that little bit of a cut that's right around the carousel, over around that corner to get to those item boxes. But one thing that people don't notice here is that you can actually do the drift around the outside here, which is really common to see from those top players. You don't really get to see it right there from Blaze, but do some avoidance with the red shells that come through, try to get those blocked off from there. But Blaze looking really good over here at first place. Got a little bit of a distance for them. Green shell trailing, but still pretty early on.
See a couple spin outs in the middle of the pack. This pack is very tight, and those green shells from Luckyo are very, very dangerous. Able to force their way up to the front. Space has to be given. You have to yield to the player who presents a threat to you. And if you're JPGiviner, the green shells are coming back.
Coming from Luckyo right there. JPG getting hit right there.
We're moving up into lap 2. Brandon taking a very cool-looking glider strat. It's actually optimal as well. Luckyo in first. I think that's a super horn in hand. Very safe. Brandon's going to want to establish himself ahead of gdin, who has fire. Very, very dangerous. Where is the fire going? Front or back? Luckyo's keeping first. Not much of an opportunity to fire out Luckyo in first, but what does gdin do here? Offense or defense? What'll it be?
I would say you got to go defense here. Luckyo's got a little bit of that space up there already.
This is
you
so
don't want
tense.
to throw the fires. Oh, but that's a trail right there, but the shock happening, so it's almost like it didn't happen right there.
One player dodging up in a star. They'll gain a huge advantage here. Brandon, triple shrooms, going to probably secure that second. Luckyo barely crosses the line. Yes. Okay.
Luckyo getting that one right there. Brandon 2.
Wow, game of inches. I keep saying it. We'll see how much that first place matters because first place is 3 points over second place. And like I said before, the difference in points from 5th to 10th in the other room was only 6.
I know.
So that could be the difference. We'll remember that.
What a race to be able to get this thing started. Like I said, this is the last semifinal that we have going on for this one. After this, we go into the final matches. But again, interesting pick for that first race. You don't really get to see that one that often.
Well, you have to pick tracks that you're confident in, or tracks that you think are like really cute. For example, did you know on Water Park there's a sign that says you must be this tall to ride this ride, and it's like the height of a Goomba?
I love that. That's actually a really good detail on
there.
there.
It's a super fun fact. But Water Park is really strong for people in the front, so that's probably why it was picked. So next, we're moving on to Wild Woods, which is a track with a little more skill expression.
It does.
There's only one real shortcut at the very end, but if you're skilled enough and have the right correct inputs, you can take a no-item shortcut to take it very, very fast still.
This is where you're going to see the item play come into play too as well. So because you do actually have 2 paths where you're going to go coin route for the left route up here at the beginning, or you could stay those like tighter routes up on the right side. So it'll be interesting to see. Most likely, I would like to see the top players go to that left path, try and get those coins, be able to boost themselves up there. You've talked about so many times about how important it is to get those coins.
You can't talk about it enough. Coins are so important to not only maintaining your speed, but catching up at the end. Usually the top spots will opt to go for the right path, which is faster. Still a few coins available, but you know, setting that pace, being up in the front is very, very important.
Missing off that right there with Brandon, unfortunate.
We'll see how catastrophic that is. He will have to play from the back here, get the coin count up, and make his comeback later in the race.
Absolutely. And honestly, like with this race that's going on right here, you have this other cut, and people actually do it quite well even without the mushroom here. So you can see those skill players being able to take it, just like you saw with JPG, trailing the people out with those triple greens, taking that cut, no mushrooms needed.
Very smartly yields that space to Greg. Knows he's low on coins. Greg is coming up with triple green shells. Plus, the blue shell is still in play. JPGiviner is such a smart player. He's really good. He's a great personality, but he's so smart.
And right there, you saw Ziogo actually got trailed out by the green over there by Greg. Greg sitting pretty nice with that red, trailing up there, tying second. JPG over here in third.
Making a push for second place and trailing, establishing body position, as I guarantee you all these players in top spots are watching the minimap for the blue shell because it's about time and a little bit overdue, but I don't actually know if the players are at distance. We're all trying to catch up. This pack is really tight. The middle spots are going to be super chaotic. Got to keep that back pan rolling. I know it might be hard to see, but this is absolutely necessary for gdin because those triple greens are right behind. No, but he wins the trail battle, able to establish himself in second place. Greg, I think, gets ghosted. No, the Ghost is still in play. Gina with a really strong spot Ghost in third place. This is very, very valuable. Invincibility has to do it to avoid the banana. Very, very smart. Has a mushroom for the no-item shortcut. Let's see if he can propel himself.
Oh, and he got a bomb in first. You think they're going to play aggressive here? And it looks like, but the bomb explodes, but they do both avoid it, keeping those top 3 spots in the same. No changes there.
That was a safe play to go for Blaze.
Yeah.
Had the Ghost. Invincibility is so underrated in this game.
It really is.
And when you start from the back, like we saw Brandon got hit out early, had to get some coins, you have to identify the correct opportunity to move back up.
Yes.
Because there are right and wrong ways to do it.
Yes.
Don't you think?
No, there really is. And the key part right there where you're talking about with it playing it safe, like this isn't the finals yet. So you still have that margin of error that you can do. You're trying to make sure that you solidify yourself in that top 6 spot. So you don't need to play as aggressive unless if you start getting further in, you need to get those points. For right now, though, you can be okay with getting that top 3.
Right. You do need every single point that you can get, but it is still a qualifying round. All you need to do is get into the top 6. Usually in previous qualifying rounds, you would want to play as well as you would do to get like proper seeding and get an easier path to the top, but there is only one round left after this, and it's the final round. So
yes, here we go. Where are we going this time?
Wario's Gold Mine.
You know, I'm seeing some like unique picks that I have not seen since I've been casting.
I love to see this.
Oh, I really
this
do.
is the player's skill expression and their player identity. I know Blaze likes this track, actually.
No, Blaze
this
actually
might have been a Blaze
does.
pick. I know this is a good spot for the middle of the pack because right after the first item set, it's very, very draftable. People get bumped left and right, and if you can pull, I think the best item you can pull here is triples, particularly triple bananas. That's such a good avenue towards the top because people have to yield to you. Let's see if somebody can pull triple bananas right here.
And what's actually crazy to see too is that we've seen no DLC picks yet from these picks, but we've actually seen a lot of the DLC picks being the favorites for these events.
Yeah, lots of old heads playing here. Many, many, many years of experience in this room. And usually the experienced players tend to favor the base game because they just know it so well. Yep. Interesting. Brandon's challenging this bomb.
Oh,
Blaze
the bomb
throws
goes
it forward.
Up, but does actually avoid it.
It locks on to someone going around it, and it doesn't really connect with anybody that is in the intended targets.
Yeah.
Brandon's still up here, defenseless. Lots of trails out here, as if to say, do not mess with me. I want to keep my position.
But I like the play that Brandon did right there. Went off the safer path, going off the left side with that bomb that was going through, instead of trying to risk it, going into the group and trying to get an item set right there.
Brandon has a horn here, which is good defense, but has to be careful. If Blaze...
Oh, nasty back coming from JPG.
You have to say, you got to anticipate that. It's hard with danger in front of and behind you. It's hard to keep track of all these things. Even the top players can't do it successfully all the time, but that's just how important it is to be so aware.
All right, so we got Luckyo over in first place, JPG kind of giving that space, showing that respect, like, hey, it's okay, I don't really need to push myself up there just yet. Blue's still able to be in play right here, so giving them that opportunity to do so. I
saw that ghost. That ghost was a blue Yoshi in the fourth. That ghost is really, really high up. The pack is pretty separated, not at shock distance. I was going to say that's a great pull for JPG with the red shell that got ghosted. He gets ghosted again. Didn't get to use either of those items, but he does go into a double box. Emery is going to take this blue. Let's see if she drops a bomb on JPG or is able to get rid of it. She just takes it. JPG moves into first place. Comfortable lead with a bomb in hand. He dictates the fate of Luckyo here. Sorry, that was Luckyo.
Yep, so it's going to be pretty comfortable now. JPG going to get that first place spot. Luckyo going to get that second. Did you see Luckyo just holding on to those items? Did he fall off?
No, that was just lag.
Yeah, just lag right there.
It's a visual bug.
So JPG, you love to see that.
Strong showing from all of these front runners in this race, and that was established early, just like we said. The drafts came out after the first item set. There was a lot of carnage, people establishing space, and that's what happens every single Mario Kart race.
Yep.
People say, stay away from me, and then the pack starts to separate out, and we start to get a little more violent in the mid-pack, but the front was a very good spot to be in. No,
it really was, and that was actually a pretty big race for JPG right there. Had 8 points going into it, getting that top spot, 15 points up right there, so now right back in the mix, back in the top 6 right there.
Yep.
So it's good to see that.
Still early, and as we've seen in previous rounds and even the 2v2 finals, spots can change just like that.
Oh
because when we're at such a high skill threshold, the deciding factor becomes something other than skill level.
No, it
really becomes the item play, the item luck. There's a certain level of RNG to this. Every item box is an opportunity that you get to make a difference, and it depends on what you do with that. That determines the outcome of your race and other people's races.
Now, this one's actually been a favorite that I have seen.
Yeah.
Waluigi's Pinball.
Love to see this more.
I really do. And honestly, this is a track that the pinballs, when they come towards you, like, it's hard to actually guess, like, kind of figure out where the path they're going to go to unless you actually practice on this track and go through it and see where they're going to go to. So somebody that's not really doing the time trials and understanding how this track really works, it's going to be difficult for them to be able to navigate through that.
And the knowledge check you can use to your advantage, because if you know where the obstacles are and where they're going to go, you can use that to not get hit yourself and have them hit the other players. And that is how this track wins itself.
Exactly. All right, so the names that we want to pay attention to here. So we got Luckyo in 1, gdin 2, Blaze 3, Greg also tied for 3, JPG 5, and then Brandon 6. But you got 0-2B and Arti right behind them in 7, 18 points, so only 4 points separating that 6th place, 7th place spot.
Still very, very tight. Everybody into double digits after 3 races. And JPGiviner.
We were just talking about that.
Losing 3 coins. That was very avoidable. But there's always a way to come back in this track, even though there are no shortcuts. There's lots of coins readily available. But we were talking about before, you have to choose the correct opportunity to move up. JPGiviner is in 8th place behind 2 sets of triple green shells, which can easily be back or held onto for protection, and there's no shortcuts on the track. Where's the opportunity to move up? Maybe it's the lightning bolt. As we see JPGiviner in last.
That's exactly it. And honestly, I like the position right now at JDX, being able to have those triple greens. Not trying to push for 0-2B because they know that the blue's still in play here. So just playing it safe, giving the distance that's needed, waiting for the blue to come out, and there it is. And you see slow down right there, and it still does go for JDX. Oh, it's unfortunate.
Oh, dodged?
They did dodge. It looked like they had a mushroom behind the triple greens, which is nice.
So JDX keeps first. Usually this is seen as a track that's not friendly to inside drift. Greg gets hit. Not much of a window left to make it back up to the pack. But Luckyo up here in 5th. Solid position. Not a whole lot of defense, but it depends on what the other players pull. JDX keeping first. Red behind. Nana comes out to trail and gets him.
Trail. That was nice too, because honestly, you want to be able to have that separation right there now that you're getting into this final lap. Be able to solidify, get that top spot.
Oh, this Rang is very dangerous. Surely it comes back on the set, no? Oh, no. The defense gets redded. The fire is available, though. Does it come back? Does it go up?
No, you got to go for that play. Yep, exactly that. Knocking out 0-2B. Oh, but then getting Piranha planted right there. That's unfortunate. That's actually going to knock him back a few spots and not be able to recover towards the end here.
Snkz is the benefactor of all this. Moves all the way up to first place. Does the Nana get dropped?
Just and it does.
Yes, doesn't connect onto JDX. JDX will take 2nd place, I believe. Very, very great showing from JDX and a much-needed 2nd place, plus 12 points, up from the bottom of the pack up to 22. The competition is fierce in this semifinal room.
Oh, it really is. And you see that those names are going to keep shifting back and forth.
They're going to shuffle almost every single race.
Yeah, and honestly, Snkz happy right there, getting that first place, and JDX as well, being able to get, again, those points. Yeah. We can't talk about them enough.
Yep.
But when we get into the later races, that's what's going to separate it, because we've talked about it before. Yep. When you get behind and you start getting into that 8th, 9th, 10th place,
yep,
you start worrying. You have to try and switch it up, do things that you're not really comfortable doing,
right?
Just to be able to make sure that you don't miss out on that.
Exactly. So, and that adaptability is what you need to be able to survive in this room. You can't just be able to be in the front, because you're not always going to be able to be in the front. You have to play smart, make the right decisions, even those microscopic decisions, making space. Like, Blaze was in such a tough spot there. He had to give up space, and then had to give up space again, and had to keep going wide. And when he finally chose to go tight after that blue shell, there was a plant waiting for him catching up. So,
it's Mario Kart for you.
Sometimes there's just no window to go up. Sometimes it be like that sometimes.
It really does. All right, so with the standings right now, so we have gdin in 1st, Luckyo 2nd, Snkz in 3rd, tied with Brandon also in 3rd, Greg in 5th, and then Blaze in 6th.
Still very close. The difference between 3rd and 9th is under 15. So.
And you got to look at that too. Like 7th place, only 6 points out from Blaze in 6th. So still anybody's game right here.
Koopa Cape is another very, very common track that we've seen. People are very comfortable on it, know how to drive it. It's a shrooming track. You want to get a mushroom on the first set to move up to where we see here. This is also a very volatile part of the track. Those 3 coins there taken by first place, Blaze, are very highly contested and very important for increasing the distance in the lead and overall safety of Blaze's race.
Absolutely. And you're talking about right there, like that spot in there, you can see green shells coming up, and they kind of stay within the course. They don't really bounce off of it right there. So really chaotic from time to time.
Both players predicted the green shell coming back from Blaze. Blaze goes into the grass, ducking out for the blue
gets
shell.
Hit by the green, but then also takes out Ty.
Wow, that was a pile-up of a blue shell drop. And that shakes up things a lot, because a lot of people that were in the back there not only move up to the front, they're taking the cut, further increasing their lead. I see JPGiviner from that blue drop dropping all the way down to 10th place, but there is still time to make a comeback. The lightning bolt is available. I think we are at shot distance here on this set. Lots of people in the back are probably going for those item boxes. They need an opportunity to catch back up.
Yeah, going into this final lap right here, you got to be able to do that. If you're in that like 9, 10, 11, that's where you want to hope that you try to pull to be able to get those spots back up there. But I think that the pack is far enough to be able to, like you say, see it in play.
Snkz gets an incredible opportunity here with the mushroom, but he's gonna have to watch out for the triple greens from Blaze. Looks like he's just gonna be just barely ahead of it. Luckyo in a Semi-comfortable second, has defense, vulnerable to getting ghosted.
But
those
really
green
close
shells.
to those green shells.
Gonna force Blaze up.
But honestly, a smart ball, but still getting hit by those greens. But honestly,
danger in front, danger behind, nowhere to go.
Yeah, didn't matter where he was going to go with it. Either star behind or the triple greens in front.
Yeah. So tough luck for Arti, dropping down to the back. And Blaze up to third. Siovo with first place.
Yep, and right back in.
And we see another shuffle of the standings.
And that's all it takes. And we were just talking about that just a moment ago.
That's just good Mario Kart.
It's great Mario Kart right there. And that's what makes the difference. So now you get yourself back into that running. You're just a few points shy of being in that top 6. So now you can get back to being your comfortable picks, what it is that you want to.
Right.
So you choose your runner. You're in that top spot. So where are you going to go?
Where am I going to go?
Yeah, where are you going to go?
Oh, man. Well, my best track is not a running track. It's not good for first place.
Oh, no?
DK Mountain. I am second in the world at it, so I'm pretty good at the track. I'm pretty confident in my ability. So, you know, maybe I am picking that track just because I have confidence in my ability. I don't have to hold first on it. I know I'm going to get a good spot on it, and I think that's what we see our competitors here picking track-wise.
Yeah.
Ones that they are comfortable and confident on, and you need both of those things if you're going to move on from this round.
No, that's exactly it.
DK Summit, another track that we've seen a lot of. Very goofy. You can play it in a lot of ways. We might see a couple people just not even start, I'll be honest. Thank you for that beautiful visual display. But we'll see first place go for some coins. We should see Siovo go for some coins right after this. He immediately pops the coins, and there's a coin strat here. See if Siovo does it. You stick to the left side. No, Siovo opts not to. Interesting. Coins are very rare on this track. Again, can't talk about them enough. You need them for your top speed. You need to stay in the front and get back up to the front. This hilly section is very, very awkward if you don't really know how to do it, but Snkz is expertly navigating through. Goes up to the double shortcut, easily able to do it, and this is where the pace is set. People are dropping back to the back. There's a broken item set we're coming up for lap 2, which makes shock and blue incredibly likely, and this track overall very volatile.
No, that's exactly it. And 02B, you got to be a little bit careful here. You got JPG right behind them with triple greens.
I'm kind of nervous for 02B because what's the decision here? JPGiviner is so threatening with his triple greens. Going for coins, interesting, with 6 already, but wanting to max out at 10 and maybe opt for a different item. No, chooses to keep it. Maybe didn't have space to get rid of that with the red shell coming, but we might see a shock here. Lots of people in stars. Might not be the best place to use a lightning bolt, but
the distance is there, though.
The distance is definitely there, especially with the cannon set being so separating. Siovo in second, Snkz up in first. There's a horn from JPGiviner. Good defense, but doesn't know what Siovo has in their pocket. Neither does he know what fourth has, but right now you don't really care.
Yeah, you really don't. And honestly, we haven't seen too many aggressive plays that have been happening from this, so you got to start thinking to yourself that there's not that many people going to be like hitting you out. Start playing a little defensively. Like, I'd be sitting up there at the top spots and not having to worry about like making sure to chain items the way that you need to. But there's a shock that does come into play. 2
bills were just about to run out, but they did dodge, and they are coming up. 1 star as well. JPGiviner trying to navigate this. Everybody's very small. Growing up, maybe squishing each other. This is an absolute slugfest to establish phase. This is such a good pull for second place. Do they come back to? But no, there's no reason to back them.
No reason, no. Don't want to create those enemies right now.
I've seen them in this tournament play so aggressively before, but you're right. There's no real reason to back those greens. We don't know who the opponents are.
Yep.
So, very safe play. That was a great pull.
It really was.
Yeah, very safe.
Did you see the point difference right there?
Yeah.
The point difference is so small as far going all the way down to where we are in 9th place, all the way to 1st place. So it's still anybody's game at this point. Yeah. And realistically, you start to see that separation when you got the 1st place, 2nd place. It's like, okay, they can be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
You really can't. Not on this one.
We saw that a lot
in the changes.
In the earlier rounds. We would see a clear front runner. Like I know Luckyo regularly wins his runes, just dropping hundreds like it's nothing, and then defending the circuit as he usually does. He's establishing a tradition, but not here. Everybody is fighting for their tournament life. Nobody is safe, and the point totals are about to come on screen. They're very, very close.
No, they really are.
Which is interesting because when the point totals get close and you see who's on the chopping block, who's on the bubble, you start to establish opponents. But now everybody's the opponent.
Yeah, exactly that. Ooh, a lounge pick going on here with Excite Bike. This is the second time I've seen this, and we all know how much I love this track.
You love Excite Bike, but why?
Listen, so a lot of people, and I've told this to a couple people here at the convention, a lot of people hate Excite Bike just because they feel like it's a boring track. You don't really know how to do too much with it, either bag or you just front run. But a big thing to remember here is the ramp strap. So if you actually practice and learn how to do the ramp strap, you can give yourself a little bit of an advantage. And plus, lounge players really do know how to play this just because of how often it is that it's picked. So I'm all for it.
I can see that. It's interesting because although it is just a bunch of straight lines, there's a lot of skill expression that goes into this track. Because you can play this track in multiple ways. You can play it from the front, you can play it in the back, you can choose an opportunity to get some mushrooms, get a star, maybe a lightning bolt, and make a comeback. But if you can establish enough of a lead, as these top 3 players are trying to do, then you can stay far enough from the back of the pack to just win the race off of your skill alone.
No, that's exactly it. But you see that red coming forward, but able to avoid it. Looks like JPG actually got in front of somebody else to be able to take that red for them.
A boomerang is such a scary thing to have in first place. You might want to put this into the back pocket so it doesn't get ghosted. I don't know. What is the play here, JPGiviner?
You see him use it right there, trying to avoid the red that's coming through. But honestly, I don't mind holding onto it because you know that you got that double defense that's going to take place here. And with the Rang as well, just in case somebody does pull triple reds, you still have a couple of them to go through. But the shot comes out with
and
the
a blue shell.
Oh, you see JPG trying to stop right there. Oh, but still will be taking it. Unfortunate.
On a boost panel, so it's not that bad. And I was going to say they had enough of a lead so where the shock didn't matter that much, but it is. There's one bullet bill that dodged, another bill coming up. That's Greg.
Yep. Somebody that we haven't been able to talk to.
A fan favorite. The crowd roars as Greg comes up to the front. He has a mushroom, able to take this shortcut, but can he stay safe? This banana is so threatening. Does it come back? No. He moves into second. The green shell is threatening again.
Oh, but gets redded out right there.
Greg drops to 5th,
spots.
6th, 5th for Greg.
So went from 3 to 5, which isn't too bad. Luckily had the mushroom to be able to recover from that red shell that came through, but even still, heartbreaking.
Yeah, but on the opposite side, not heartbreak, Sioba with another first place.
Another first place. So was not didn't have that many points to be able to begin with, but now back to back first place.
Yeah.
You're happy now.
Yeah, well, you're happy. Happier, but I don't know about happy. There's definitely no feeling of safety, though.
No, there isn't. Because we're looking at these points right now. So first place, 61 points. Second place, 59. So only 2 points separating from first to second. Oh,
I dare say the usual suspects. Luckyo and Snkz with 61 and 59. But Sioba with another first place moves up to tie Snkz for second overall currently with 59 points. Let's see, who's in last place? 30 points for Ty, which is honestly not that far back. Last place is not that far back.
Nope, it really isn't. So again, you gotta shake it up at this point. So 30 points, you're in last place. You gotta do something different to really get yourself going in this moment. And this is where I start picking picks like, I know you're gonna hate me saying this, Baby Park.
Baby Park? I don't know, dude.
Things are not going well for you. You're trying to figure out something else to do. Shake it up.
Speaking of shake up, this is, I dare say, the epitome of a shake-up track.
It really is.
The defining cannon item set. Although you can still run up to the front in the top spot and establish yourself and still put yourself in a good position to win this race. Because although shock is very likely, it is never guaranteed. And all these people have to take that into consideration. Triple Nanas, got to give space for that. Greg expertly does. The spacing is so important in this game, and Greg does that expertly here. Safely gets a single item box, can't get that double, but a shroom is a good opportunity to move up. There's a red shell ahead, got to be careful with that, and now it's just a little bit of a waiting game. There's an item box up ahead. Does he shroom up here? No. Greg does not see the opportunity to move up, so he holds off on the trigger. That is a veteran move. Very, very wise.
It'll be interesting to see here who's going to take the supercut, and you're going to see right here a couple of people choose to take that little shortcut that takes place right there. It does give you a little bit of that boost. Getting dangerously close to that red shell, but able to avoid it. Oh, you got to be hitting that brake. That's a little bit there, Blaze.
Gdin's trying to slow down? I think Gdin's slowing down on purpose. Try and trail Blaze just for fun.
I like it.
You got to create that space. It's so important. Siobo in first, once again, has a super horn. Will we see the lightning bolt? Time will tell. There's no blue shell yet. Maybe it wasn't pulled at the cannon set. There's a star coming up with its blaze. Still no lightning bolt. Maybe it wasn't pulled. Like I said, never guaranteed.
Nope.
Now is the time to move forward. 2 item sets left. There's a no item shortcut that Ty is not taking, probably for safety. Shroom in hand, defense in pocket, looking good. Greg coming up on the bill, up to the set, another dodge item in pocket, going to be in the star for basically the rest of the race. Snkz is not in danger.
Oh, but
Gdin
get
hit on the line.
The line right there.
And Greg moves up to 4th.
Wow. Crazy to see there. Another first place coming from Ciovo. That's 3.
Are we surprised anymore?
No, not anymore.
No. We were afraid we weren't going to see a clear front runner in this, but, you know,
It's starting to happen.
A 4 or 5 point lead over Snkz isn't really a clear front runner, but certainly established themselves as the top player in this room so far.
Really, and that's what's so great about this is that even though, like, because we've talked about it time and time and again, you get those top players that they've been in the competitive scene for quite some time.
Because it's important,
but then you start to see people that you don't normally see start to do that, and we got to see that with Unknown in the last one. Unfortunately, Unknown was unable to make it past and get into the finals.
Such a strong showing, though, for only like a year of playing.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. This is what I've been telling people about with Momocon and all these other LAN events that you can. This is why you want to come out here, because you don't truly know until you get out here and you experience it for yourself.
It's the best form of Mario Kart, and we're seeing it live right here. We're already on to race 9. Now we start to see, you know, the points are spreading out just a little bit more. Now we start to see some opponents. 4th place is Greg with 61 points. Tied for 9th is 49 points. Arti and Brandon, 2 of our higher seeds, are not currently in a position to make it, but that is a difference from 4th to 9th of just 12 points.
Which one race makes a difference.
One race makes a difference, and there are 4 of them left. So Ribbon Road, general strategy is you want to shroom up right here to establish yourself in the front. We see one person do that. It's probably Luckyo, I think. Blackbirdo, always a great player. Usually my pick to go really far in events like this. Catalyst 2025 winner. Very cool smart steering strat. If you just hug the right side, the game will drive for you. Usually it takes a lot of precision to get on those ramps, but you know, you use the tools available to you to win the race, and that's exactly what Luckyo's doing.
Yeah, and honestly, you like that kind of play in this, because you don't want to take those risks. You don't want to be able to like fall back and then have to recover from it. So you like to see when people know how to be able to turn it on and off to be able to do those.
Plus, if there's
nasty back there for Greg.
Plus, if there's danger coming at you, you want to increase your maneuverability and survivability, and smart steering helps a lot with that, because this is a very, very hard part of the track to stay on.
No, that's exactly it. Snkz here at 7th place going to be able to hold on to some of those mushrooms, be able to take that cut at the end.
A blue shell is launched from about 4th or 5th place, which is very high up. It just goes to show that separation. Arti and Ty, I think, both wanted to take that cut. I think Ty might have wanted to catch Arti in that blue explosion, but Arti was able to expertly dodge that. Triple reds from Brandon in 2nd.
And playing the smart play right there, slowing down so that way they don't get hit out, because you know that Arti right now is in 9th place. He needs to be able to get one of these top spots. But Ty playing aggressively, you love to see that. Gets rid of the reds, now in 2nd place with that horn. Oh, beautifully done.
Gdin in a great spot, but wants to wait to use the star until the very end, but has to stay safe until then. Opting to go around to stay safe. This is a good, safe play. Don't need first, just need to stay safe, and this is how to do it. Invincibility to the rest of the race.
Oh, but he does! He takes out right there. Oh, an aggressive play by Gdin, and you know what? Why not? I love that. Snkz has a lot of points coming into this one, so he's like, no, I need to catch back up. I want to solidify myself a little bit closer to where they're at. Ooh.
Gdin's playing pretty cheeky today, huh?
Yeah.
You saw him on Big Blue earlier?
Oh, I did.
Kind of like maybe tapping the brake button a little bit to trail the person behind him,
Yeah. But hey, I told you, that's the way to play it.
Well, and to a certain extent, hitting other players kind of feels good, doesn't it? When you get a successful hit on some other player, you know. Because Gdin did not have to hit Snkz there.
No, not at all.
Gdin, of course, could tell 2nd place was pretty much in the bag, but, you know, it either makes a statement. Again, the mental part of the game, I don't think is talked about enough. It's a very mental game. And
it really is. And
if, you know, Snkz is very put down by that, it might affect him going forward. And there's still three races left.
Yeah, because, I mean, people, perfectly put.
Yes.
People don't talk about this enough, where when you start getting into those mindsets where somebody's beating you up or hitting you out, like you start getting frustrated and you start like making choices that you normally wouldn't make.
Right.
We talk about using those items, like spamming the items right away because you're frustrated and you just want to get the person who hit you right back, but it's really starting to get into them.
Yeah. You gotta, stay out of your own head. You gotta stick to your strengths. You can't get rattled this late in the game. gdin is an absolute menace on the racetrack and is in 4th place overall. There's a tie for 5th between Blaze and Greg at 63 points. Only 4 points behind is Arti, who finished pretty well that race.
Yeah, they did.
And remember that interaction with Ty that we barely saw.
Yeah.
Remember that for later.
All right, we're going to the airport. Where are we going?
We're going flying. There are 2 big gliders on this track. This is usually seen as a strong group frontrunner in the 6v6 scene. Obviously, we are not playing 6v6. So that shroom shortcut that we just saw through the grass is the opportunity in lap 1 to move up. We saw a couple people take it. Let's see if Luckyo gives space for gdin here. No. Too far behind to make a difference. But do these greens go up? I'm not sure what's behind gdin, which does not necessarily give him the green light to launch these forward. But the Rangan pocket, this is very, very powerful for JPGiviner.
Barely
the
missing
bomb
that
gets
green
dropped
right
from Arti, creating a lot of space, still in 1st place, and now the pack is separated.
Honestly, and right here, if you're JPG, you want to kind of like play a little bit defensively here. You don't know, there's a little bit too much of a separation to see what items they have in the back there, so don't throw the red up, keep yourself safe. Way to go.
Siovo is lurking right behind JPGiviner right now because the shroom into triples is such a powerful combination. JPGiviner has no idea. Well, now he does, but that was actually really, really good for JPGiviner because although these greens are threatening, now he knows what he's up against.
Yep.
With the shroom hiding the triple greens, JPGiviner had no idea, but this is a good break for him, and the best part is he doesn't even know it.
No, that's exactly it. And honestly, the shroom up with the triple greens could have been able to trail him out too. So yeah, absolutely. Probably the best thing that could have happened for JPG getting that one taken away from them.
Launches a red forward at 1st place, threatening, knocking on their door. I believe that's Arti in 1st, knocking on Arti's door saying, hey, I'm right behind you. You better watch out. But, the one counterplay to this would be Arti pulling another bomb, which I say this facetiously sometimes. Good players pull good items, but I see it happen a lot. The horn for Siovo is going to be good defense. Triple greens behind. Going to be used defensively here by 0-2B. Smart decision.
Oh, but then goes ahead and gets aggressive and keeps that spot. You like to see it also getting the horn with Ty at the end right there.
0-2B has 2 players attempt a shroom pass, but no, shuts the door.
Oh, man.
The greens were on point and the horn right at the very end. I don't know if they saw Ty coming up at the very end, but I mean, why not use the horn right there just in case? This is LAN; they're all connected via Ethernet, but there is still a little bit of lag here and there, so you just got to make sure.
And honestly, when you've been going to these events or even playing online, you kind of get used to that and the understanding that just because you see that happen on your screen doesn't mean that that's actually what took place, and not to just start celebrating early.
Yeah, don't trust your eyes all the time.
But honestly, too, and I got to call out on that one. There was a nice little joke from the moderators of our Twitch page saying that TSA held them up in the airport.
Yeah,
you gotta love that.
Whoa there.
All right, so we're getting down to our last few races here, and we're starting again to see that separation. But there's still such a close pack from that 10th place all the way up into that 6th place. So even though you're in 10th place right now, you still have that opportunity. Get yourself that good race to be able to be right back in that top.
Keep pushing. Not out of it yet, but for some of us, the climb is getting steeper and the opportunities and windows are starting to close. Sky Garden is a track we have not seen yet, either very much or so far this tournament.
Yeah, take a look right there. So the difference between 10th place and 6th place, you see that?
Yep.
4 points.
4 points.
4 points separates you from being knocked out of this tournament or moving on to the finals.
The difference between 10th and 3rd is 10 points. With a good enough race, we could see the spots shuffle yet again, and I expect that to happen.
Yeah, really will. And this is actually a good track, too, because I like how chaotic it can be around that last corner. When you get that mushroom cut that comes through here, so many times that you'll see it happen time and time and again. Mushroom with triples behind, and people get knocked out, hit out, or even Super Hornet right there.
We were talking about the importance of a pocket item here before. Very often, lots of chaos happens in that shortcut because people use a mushroom and then the pocket item comes out. And if it's triple greens or a crazy 8 or a bomb like that, then the chaos ensues. So I expect a very, very exciting lap 3 shortcut. But for now, Arti and Brandon very comfortably up in the front. Where's Arti in the standings? Arti's in 3rd. Brandon is on the lower half in 11th. Brandon needs these points, but the blue shell is coming in. On the glider, no real opportunity to stop. I think Brandon's going to have to take this blue.
Yep. And the separation is here now. Shock could be in play at any moment. And it's really, I haven't really seen it too often go on this track, but separation's there.
Wow, look at that bullet bill go all the way up to first place. It seems Ty, Blaze all up here fighting for those crucial points.
Oh, this is going to be a tough little corner. Narrowly missing
the bomb.
There
into
comes
the
the bomb right into the
does not
shortcut.
Explode.
Oh, man. They had to go wide right there to avoid it, but then the ring hits him, and the red hits him as well.
Absolute pile up on the last fighter.
Oh, no, poor
Brandon gets
Brandon.
hit again all the way down to the bottom. No.
That is unfortunate to see. Going from 3rd all the way down to 9th right there. You like the aggressive play with the bomb, but paying for it at the end, having no items to be able to keep themselves safe.
The position was so good. The finish line was just in view.
Yeah. And that's what we talked about right there. That last little corner and the chaos that happens with it from the item plays that come through. Oh.
Yeah. And that's knowing where you are in the standings. Brandon was in 11th place overall going into that race.
Yeah.
Pulling a bomb at the last set. If he was safer, I guess, points-wise, then I think that bomb goes back.
Oh, it does. It absolutely does.
But he was going for the big race, and sometimes that's a risk that you have to take.
You have to.
Yep.
That's self-awareness.
Yep.
It really is, because just like you said, being in 11th place, like you have to start, we're getting down to the finals, like you really have to start making plays like that, get your points up there, and be able to get in that top.
It was a calculated risk, but it did not pay off for Brandon as he slips farther and farther back.
Another lounge pick here.
Yeah. Mario Kart Stadium.
How do you feel about it?
You know,
it's the final race, too.
It's the final race. This is it. This is where some dreams will continue and some dreams will stop.
And let's get some hype out in the crowd right now. Is this the final race of the semifinals as we get ready to find out who is joining the other 6 in the finals?
Siovo currently in first, 99 points. That's a pretty comfortable lead ahead of Greg in 6th place with 78 points. Siovo's really, really comfortable, guaranteed to go into the next round. But let's see the point differential. Greg in 6th, 78. Ty and 02B are behind with 72. JPGiviner far back, but still not out of reach with 69 points. This is going to be very important. And this is where the opponents are made. Gdin, Greg, Ty, 02B, JPGiviner are all fighting for these spots. And Luckyo in 4th place, 82 points. That water park race, that first place, that mattered.
It does. And it comes back and shows you at this point. But either way, right here, we have Luckyo on 1, Brandon 2, and JPG getting in 3 right now. And honestly, I like this right here. I'm going to be able to kind of take this and just play it safe, not try to be too aggressive with it. It's still early on. Blue's in play. Oh, they're both electing to stop here.
I like how JPGiviner navigated around that red trail.
Now
Such a veteran move. I told you, this guy is so smart. And now he has a shroom in the pocket, defense out back, able to block this red shell. And maybe he changed this for defense? No, he actually doesn't get the item box, but we'll see just how detrimental this is. The item that is available and that we all have to watch out for is the lightning bolt, and it can be coming very soon. It is available. We'll see if somebody has it, but the pack is tightening up. Maybe nobody got it. Maybe this is it.
I think this is it, and honestly, Blue should be able to be in play now as well. That timer is has definitely run out.
He needs this first place right here. If a red shell comes, he really wants to keep this mushroom for this motion glider.
Honestly, and it's such a beautiful item set to be able to have, because not only does he have the mushroom just in case, but he also has that defense hiding right behind it too.
JPG needs this first. I think he's going to get it.
Yeah,
There's mushrooms coming up.
This is going to be big for JPG. Getting that. Oh, the shot comes in through.
Also need it.
He does get that first place that he needs. We'll see if it's enough to be able to get the points and move on.
JPGiviner fighting for that last spot. 02B also. Let's see who gets in. It's a
JPG with a tie with 02B. We have a tie for 6th place. Gonna have to go into a tiebreaker now to be able to see who moves on. But beautifully done. Not out of it, just like what we talked about. And you see it right there. So now it comes down to a tiebreaker between the two of them.
Whoever used that lightning bolt, 02B, is going to buy you a drink.
But beautifully done. So let's take a look here. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it and thank everybody else that didn't make it move on. So Greg, Blaze, Ty, Brandon, and JDX, thank you so much for playing up there. You guys gave it all. And again, such a tight room. It doesn't matter whether or not you were in 10th or you're all the way up in 2nd. That point was just right there with it. Oh. So
the standings were constantly shuffling, which is makes for great Mario Kart. Such high-end talent, and it was on full display here.
It really was. And now they're going to go ahead and get set up. So here in a minute, they're going to go ahead and get the 2 players tied up and be able to get that tiebreaker going on.
1v1 tiebreaker.
The 1v1. And actually, this is the first one for this.
I was going to say before this, but I didn't want to commentators curse it, but I guess even thinking of it did anyway. We haven't seen ties in this tournament so far.
We really haven't.
Any of the formats, I don't think.
And so this is it. Why not? The finals, like for the semifinals, getting into the finals, why not have that be
this could not be more critical.
Yes. Oh, man. I don't know about you guys in the crowd, but I'm pretty excited. What about you guys? Exactly that. But
are there even established rules for this?
No, there are.
For this? Yeah?
Yeah, there are established rules that they have for this for the event.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to see them get set up for it. Now, there was a different way that they handled it over in like different tournaments, but I'm pretty sure that they actually do the 1v1. I don't know if they're going to do random pick or if it's going to be Baby Park or what's going to happen for it. Yeah. So we'll wait for them to show us what they're going to do with it and how they're going to go ahead and move forward with it.
How would you play a 1v1? I mean, put on normal items, frantic items.
So, funny enough, before I actually got into like my casting for these events and things of that nature, I did have a 1v1 happen at Catalyst.
Yeah?
Yes.
So did I.
It was a 1v1 that took place, and it was a Mushroom Gorge.
Mushroom Gorge,
And the way that I played it is I played it aggressively. And what I did was, might be a little cheeky, but I slow-horned the person to get them rattled up, and then I was able to coast the rest of the way.
Well, hits are so important in a 1v1 because, there's very, very little comeback potential. The room dynamic is so different as we're going to DK Summit.
Ooh, all right. So they got to pick what pick they wanted to for the track, so that was good to see. So getting that pick, 02B, being confident with it,
Yeah. And confidence is a big factor going into this 1v1. I wonder how much the cannon item set is going to make a difference because usually I would think the 1v1 strategy is to be in 2nd for the first item set, which JPGiviner is. If you get the first hit with a shell or something like that, you can get off to a nice start, a nice lead. JPGiviner is going for the coins, which, as we mentioned before, DK Summit was played before. Coins are not very available on this track. So really 0-2B with 2. JPGiviner did the coin strat, as we mentioned earlier, has a lot more. Off to a good start, and now, this lead could be maintained for the rest of the race. The Shroom comes in, smart steering strat, saves 0-2B from any off-road, but how much of a difference did that actually make?
Yeah, and honestly, it makes you wonder, are they going to try to stay back a little bit so you can start getting the triple reds to catch back up to them? Because you can see that in this type of play, but you're not going to see those big items right here.
The red shell did connect, not another red shell, so no opportunity to move up, really.
And actually, I want to call out something right there that JPG just did. So they lost their item set right there, so they stopped and got 2 items to make sure that they were taken care of.
Yes, very, very smart. Defense is so important. That pull right there.
What a beautiful pull for JPG right there.
I don't know if they can hear me. I don't want to spoil the fun, but 0-2B does not know what is waiting in JPG's pocket.
Oh, but able to go ahead and pull up there. Oh, no, the cheeky horn. Oh, see, right there. That's what I'm saying. And you knocked them out.
That could be a decisive play from JPGiviner because there is one lap left, one opportunity for 0-2B. There's a bit of distance. This cannon set is broken. If this is triple reds, then this could be good. But no, it is only a mushroom. One double box set, and that probably is the last opportunity for 0-2B to move up, unless JPG somehow falls off the track, which, this is a high-pressure situation. It's fully available. The Ghost will steal the item, but it's not going to be anything good. There is not going to be a red shell coming at JPGiviner. All he has to do is drive to the finish line, and it looks like he is. The veteran player is going to come out from the final turn on top. The Piranha Plant is not going to do much.
There it is.
JPGiviner.
JPG moving on. What a beautiful, beautiful race that was for JPG. Getting up there. Celebrations happening right now, as you see. Oh, awesome. We love to see that. JPG, congratulations. And 0-2B, good job on that one. So close. Oh,
JPGiviner is a frequent Momocon finalist
Yes.
in multiple different formats, and he has just earned his spot once again
yes.
in the 2025 free-for-all finals.
As you can see, the congratulations happening on screen. You know, JPG's got to be happy about that because you come all the way out here. Want to make sure that you keep that momentum going. I spoke to JPG earlier and talked about like the rust and getting that off. It's been a little bit kind of slow start for him, but still back at it. It doesn't matter.
He still got it.
Still got it.
Yeah.
Even with the rust and everything else going on, he's in the finals.
Yep.
And there
he
it is.
earned his spot there. So, moving on will be Siovo, Arti, Snkz, Luckyo, gdin, and JPGiviner.
Oh. So like mix that now with Cynic, FlowX, Garchomp, Yezi, Nick, and Cinda.
Oh my goodness. This finals is going to be amazing
Oh,
to watch.
I'm ready.
So much talent in one room, but only one championship. There are no more qualifiers. There is one crown to get
Yes.
for the final free-for-all of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tournament scene. So we will get that to you soon. Right after this, we're going to take a short break. We will have Rookie and Brat casting the finals for you.
Yeah. And this will be the final time that you see us up here. So Brat and Rookie are going to be able to close everything out for us.
Yep.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
But as always, FCSmiley.
Bubbles.
And we'll catch you guys later.
Bye-bye.